welcome, and this is my first impressions video of the new Paul McBeth Test Flight Mid-Range. Now, the first thing that kind of jumped out at me about the Test Flight disc is actually the size of the disc. It actually is a little smaller diameter than most mid-ranges. In fact, it actually feels very much like a putter. Well, this mid-range, as you can tell by the numbers, is very overstable. It feels like a Wasp, it looks like a Wasp, but again, it has a slightly smaller diameter, and it also has a bead. So for you people who love beaded mid-ranges, this disc is right for you. Now, getting into the throws, I did kind of pair this up against a CryZtal Buzzz OS, which is the next one here. I also paired it up against a ProLine Quake, and then lastly against an Elite Z Wasp. So I would have loved to have compared the Test Flight disc to, say, a Hornet. Unfortunately, they're hard to come by, but hopefully for the future I can give you a comparison video. So let me go ahead and start talking about the flight path. This is a mid-range you can really put a lot of power behind. As shown here, look at that steep anhyzer angle that I'm putting it on, yet it still has enough stability to kick in and fights its way out of it, so you don't have to worry about fully turning the disc over and having it turn into a roller or a cut roller. You can really trust that this Test Flight disc is going to fight its way back. Beautiful, beautiful flex lines. Now, compared to the CryZtal Buzzz OS, this was actually the most overstable of all the discs, but that's because it is a CryZtal Buzzz OS, not a regular one. Hopefully I'll be able to compare it to a regular one in hopefully the near future. Now, the disc that I think that the Test Flight actually closely resembles of all these that I'm showing here has got to be the Quake from DGA. It's definitely the closest in terms of the flight, how resistance it is to both turning over and how much stability that it has at the end of the flight. However, it's definitely longer, almost like a Wasp and the Quake had a baby. It's kind of right in between. It's getting the distance of the Wasp, but it has the same stability as the Quake. So if you have thrown the Quake and you're wanting something a little bit longer but still as trustworthy, definitely take a look at this Test Flight disc. It's absolutely incredible. Love how predictable it is, and it's also very good in terms of forehand. I normally don't like forehanding beaded discs, but you know what? This thing is really comfortable and really trustworthy. I can even roll my wrist a little bit. Like on this shot here, I roll my wrist just a hair, but it still has enough stability to auto-correct and not make me look too horrible. I think this Test Flight disc is going to fill a void in so many players' bags, kind of fitting right between that Buzzz OS and in between the drone. You can get a lot of great distance out of it, like you can probably on a Buzzz OS. However, it doesn't dump nearly as hard as, say, a drone. So yeah, absolutely love the Test Flight disc. If you want to get your own, don't worry. A lot of places are starting to take pre-orders right now. And additionally, it will be dropping on September 20th. That is just right around the corner. So absolutely, it's going to be here before you know it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching the video. As always, subscribe and like, and thank you so much to Discraft and also Riverside ProShop for making these videos happen. Thank you again.